Well, good afternoon. This is Jim Whitehead. I'm sorry, I'm about 3 minutes behind what I said I was going to do. Okay, today we're going to talk about, we know our world is a little off. And I know one would say, yeah, you're right, but what are you going to do about it? Well, we're fortunate enough to have someone coming from another planet that is going to help with making sure we do the right thing in working with other people. So let's get going. So what we have, Jamie the Shih Tzu, with the fur, the color of 1,000 sunsets, and eyes like polished obsidian, zipped through the cosmos. In other words, we're being visited by someone that's going to help the world be a better place. Anyway, she went through the cosmos in a spaceship, as you can see. Her mission, given to her by the High Council of Barktopia, was clear. Land on Earth, and with unparalleled cuteness and inherent wisdom, create a world of happiness and fairness. Sounds good to me. We need it. She touched down, as you see, gently in a field of dandelions, the ship emitting a soft melodic purr, children playing nearby. And I'm sure these children are saying, whoa, I didn't know this was going to happen. Initially startled, soon gathered around was captivated by the sight of the small, fluffy dog emerging from the sparkling craft. There she is. She's here to save the world. Jamie, with a regal wag of her tail, knew her work had begun. First, she developed a positive playtime pact. In other words, she came to say, okay, kind of forget everything you think you know. I'm going to give you some good things to help you function every day. And if you get and teach children the right thing, in a lot of cases, they will grow up and do the right thing. She called one of her points positive playtime pact. No game was fun if someone felt left out or cheated. Jamie demonstrated by sharing her favorite cosmic chew, as you can see, making sure every child had a turn. You know, I know we were all brought up, well, not all of us, but all brought up to be good and play well and not hit other kids and be good to the teacher. So here we are, same formula, but somebody had to come, in the case of Jamie, the Shih Tzu, to remind us of the things that we were taught and how we need to act regardless of your age. Okay, if a disagreement arose, she'd gently nudge the offender party with his nose, encouraging them to voice their feelings calmly and then look the offender with a expectant gaze until they offered an apology or a solution. Her silent, wavering belief in her good intentions worked wonders. Okay, now we're getting into what they call the no-lie zone. You know, and I say it's important to tell the truth. And Jamie is bringing from her planet, Barktopia, many of the things that we were taught and probably have forgotten. So this is what we call the no-lie zone, how to live honestly. Jamie understood true happiness and fairness couldn't exist where lies festered. So she introduced the Truth Trail, a simple set of guidelines for speaking honestly. Some of the rules here: think before you speak. Before you say something, take a moment. Is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it true? If it's not all three, it's best left unsaid. So we're all learning together some of the things we need to do for both being a child and being an adult, of things we should actually practice. Jamie would often sit quietly, head cocked, demonstrating the art of thoughtful silence. There you can see Jamie just sitting there going, I have to think about everything, make sure that my next step is something that's going to make sense. And you know, sometimes, and I have to say, you've got to sit and think and find that some things are best unsaid, or at least at the very least, you need to think about what you're going to say. Our own wolves. If you make a mistake or do something wrong, own it. Don't try to hide it or blame someone else. Jamie showed this by once tripping, and she tripped over her own paws, and instead of pretending it didn't happen, she let out a surprised yelp and then shake herself off with a silly grin, acknowledging her clumsiness. Admitting the truth, even if it's embarrassing, builds trust. Use your words, not whispers. If you have something important to say, say it clearly and directly. Don't spread rumors or talk behind someone's back. Jamie would sit patiently, listening intently, and then, if someone was gossiping, she would let out a tiny, disapproving reminding them to speak with integrity. The oops by mistake rule: if you accidentally say something untrue, correct it immediately. Don't let a small fib grow into a big problem. Jamie demonstrated this by sometimes barking at a squirrel that wasn't there. And then, upon realizing her error, she'd give a sheepish look and offer a small paw to the child. So she's saying to the child, look, I made a mistake. Please forgive me. I'm going to touch you with my paw, and hopefully you'll realize that I know that she made a mistake, and we basically are, we're fallible, and no one generally speaking, ever if you are honest and you make a mistake, you say you make a mistake, generally they don't beat you up. It probably works out well. Now, here's another thing that we call the honest hug. Embrace the honest hug. Sometimes the truth can be hard to hear or say. When that happens, offer an honest hug. It shows you care even when things are difficult. Jamie, of course, was a master of the honest hug, as you can see. Nuzzling into anyone who seemed troubled, radiating warmth and understanding. Slowly but surely, Jamie's gentle wisdom and irresistible charm, the world began to transform. And you know, the truth of it is sometimes it takes somebody coming from another planet and helping us learn the right way or remember the things that we were taught and knew are the best way of handling things. Laughter echoed freely, conflicts dwindled, and a palpable sense of peace settled over all the land. Jamie the Shih Tzu from Barktopia had just landed on Earth. She had truly cultivated a garden of happiness and fairness, one honest bark and one truthful wag at a time. What's one thing, here's a question for the group, and I don't know if you can or you want to answer any of this. What's one thing you think could make your own corner of the world a little more fair and happy? So again, if you have the time, please leave a comment again saying what would help you and your life to be a little bit more fair and happy. I won't tell you what I say or how I feel, but I think you know, since I do these presentations, that I feel and what I say is true. Anyway, I want to thank you for being here. Subscribe if you're able. And thank you. And I know and hope that this is a little motivational discussion that will help us all be better people. So again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Take care. Thanks again.